Even when his dogs and cat are being a pain in the ass, he hopes this will always last. Even bring the fun to the masses, rolling through 1-2, then beating every dungeon classes. With his goofy faces and voice all over the places, he hopes to never give up on his dreams. To bring joy and even the facts to his last podcast every week and stream his friends to bring that energy like big booty claps. He never gets angry, but sure can get scared. With anime on his side, is always prepared. Even though he's the grumpiest of bears. This bear is always cool in his chair. Till the end, his dreams always be rare. Cause he's coming after you and hopes you'll be there. To hope you'll have a good day, a good night, and as always have a good life. Much love. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Much love. Have a good night, good life. Grumpy Bear has always been there, even when life isn't fair, even when no one is there. He's thinking of you with love and care. Even if he say like I care, he still give you a big hug with love and care. With his kind words, he's never afraid to share, giving you that good bear stare. Even his teeth, so beware. Cause every weekend at 6:30, he's bound to be there, straight sitting in his chair on every platform that he can share, just as long as he know you'll be there. So let him say this again to make it clear, though life isn't fair, he will be there just cause he wants you to be there, so he can wish you a good day, a good night, and as always have a good life. Much love. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Much love. Have a good night.
You're biased. Biased. Well, yeah, I got a topic. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of how to approach it because we want to make sure we don't go political with it, right? Well, it kind of but but there you got to remember you have your life and then you have workplace politics that also play, and then those workplace politics can also lead to overall politics. So you have to be careful. But anyway, so what we'll do it like this. Okay, so you're gonna be the technician. Okay, you're the tech, and I'm gonna be the user. I'm gonna bring you a laptop, and I'm gonna say, hey, I can't get this to turn on. Now, what are you gonna do first? Oh, shit. I hit the wrong button. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. Don't do that. Don't. Stop. Stop. Okay. Okay. So you're going to inspect it, right? You're going to inspect it. Okay. Now, what are you going to do if you smell an odor of a very common liquid that has been drank in the office?
Said. Botrix has successfully joined the channel.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going as the user. When you look at me with this questioning look, I'm gonna go, huh, and turn around and walk away. Okay. So now as the tech, what do you do next? Okay. So now that we've got your take, let me give you a story. It's story time. You know, I should call my section Corvo's story time. You know? Anyway, so I had a user today bring me a laptop and say, hey, I can't get this to turn on. The first thing I smell is the odor of coffee. Okay. So I'm going, so I smell. And then I notice a little residue. So I take my finger and I run it through the residue, and it smells like coffee, right? The user goes, huh, and walks away. Now I'm not allowed to chase the user. That's against the rules. You can't do that. So my thought process at this point is, okay, CYA. Do you know what that is? What CYA is? Cover your ass. Cover your ass. Okay. So I start cracking this bitch open, but I'm taking photos all throughout the process. Now, about halfway through the process, and I'm about to take the back off the laptop, one of our HR representatives walks by and goes, heard you had a laptop brought to you that didn't open. I was like, yeah, you want to see why? She goes, huh? I said, you want to see why? Yeah. So I pull the lid off, and there's little puddles of coffee in the computer. In the computer. And she goes, holy shit. And I'm like, yes. Yes, this is holy shit moment. Because I do not know if I can save this. But I'm not sure he'll have a machine today. She says, well, that is not a you thing. That is not a me thing. That's a on him thing. So she goes on about her business. I keep taking my pictures. I try the techniques that are commonly used in this situation to revive this thing. There's no pulp. There's no pulp. No pulp. Like I done cut this bitch open and I'm massaging its heart. You know, I'm giving it electroshock to try to get its nervous system back going, and it won't even suck air. Okay, but I realized that of all the things here, the brain has not been touched by said liquid. So I extract the brain. This is a laptop. Yes. So I remove the brain. And I go digging through my corpse pile for a body of same caliber, make, model, this body was, 6'2", Caucasian, 250 pounds. I'm looking for something similar. Lo and behold, his twin brother is laying in my corpse pile. So I snatched the dead one's brain out, and I slapped the other one in. Now I'm playing Frankenstein. I hit the power button. I start seeing lights and stuff. And I feel like Victor. It's alive! It's alive! So it comes back to life. I can log into it. All the software and data files are there. I'm thinking, we're getting somewhere. Then this terrible, terrible thing happened. It's called TPM. Trusted Platform Module. Somebody enabled the TPM on this machine prior to the accident. Nope. So I'm logged in, but I can't log his Teams, his Outlook, or his OneDrive in. Due to hold on just a second. Okay. So while everything else is working, the 3 basic programs used in everyday is not. Because it's giving a TPM error. Now, typically in this situation, you would take the BitLocker encryption key and you would put it in, and it would say, oh, you're allowing this to work here. Cool, and everything would go to working. It did not. And it did not because of unknown reasons at this moment. So I go through the process of clearing the TPM in both Windows and the BIOS, and turning the TPM off and back on. None of that fixes the problem. So, at current, Frankie can do everything he's supposed to do but talk, essentially. Frankie can't send an email. Frankie can't talk in instant message. Do you know how frustrating it is to know that people doing add-on bullshit to what they think is making their life easier makes my job harder? Okay, so it's not even either one of those. So technically, basically, every computer that has UEFI as a BIOS now has the ability to turn TPM on and turn BitLocker on. What BitLocker does is basically it encrypts your hard drive. So even if I come to your house and I stole your hard drive out of your machine and I took it home and plugged it in on a dock, I can't access your data without the BitLocker key because it's encrypted. Okay? Which is all well and fine. That's a good security measure. However, because of our other security measures, largely we don't enable that right now. For the very instance, so that if somebody's machine does what he did and has to have a quick, hey, I got to get him back up and running, this process that I've done can happen. Okay? Now, I don't think it's the act of enabling BitLocker and TPM that caused the problem. I think it is the other authentication method he put in place when he turned it on that caused the issue. So I don't know if you know, but now on laptops, most new laptops, you have 4 or 5 different ways you can set up authentication. You can do it via a PIN. You can do it via facial recognition. You can do it via a fingerprint. You can also set a photo and on the photo record places that you click as a pattern that will become your way in. Okay? Now, mind you, this guy already had a 16-digit password that we put on the machine. Nobody else in the company has a problem with this, but it was too complicated for him. So he added a second method that was easier by putting a photo on his machine and recording the click patterns on the photo to be his way in. Which has now broken TPM and BitLocker. So now I have to figure out how to fix this. Case in point, I had 2 machines today. Both of them required a brain transplant. Okay? The one that had not been fucked with, done in 20 minutes. The one fucked with, still sitting on a desk, not able to go to Outlook and Teams. Somebody should use a picture. Hold on a minute. So yeah, it me off a little bit because
You just ran to your rifle. You not you like over in that.
you better check further because I heard a bunch of crashing. Anyway, well, what bugs me is this machine doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the company. What in the fuck makes you think that you can just add a different authentication method because you so feel like it? Because it's easier to remember where to click these 4 or 5 points on this picture than typing in your password like everybody else in the company. So here's the thing. This is what I think. So I don't think he would have been allowed to do this normally, but the problem is we've never had an incident where anybody's even thought to do this. So I don't think anybody's ever thought to put any kind of prevention methods in place for it. You know what I mean? Because if it's never happened, you don't think about it. Now it's happened, and my ass has to have a conversation with all of my IT leadership and explain to them we need to stop this shit because it's not working so good. So yes, and I'm sitting there going, just looking around, thinking to myself, why? Why? Like, first off, you're gonna walk off and act like you didn't pour coffee in this damn machine. Then you come back 30 minutes later, be like, oh yeah, by the way, I may have accidentally spilt a little coffee in it. A little? Motherfucker, there's a goddamn 32-ounce worth of coffee in this fucking machine. Then you're not going to tell me that you added another security method that I could have maybe disabled before I went through this process and saved myself from this fucking day-long deluge of how the fuck do I get around this now? No. If he only used basic software, yes. But he doesn't. He has to have engineering software. Which means no matter what I do after the basic image is pushed on there, let's say it takes 45 minutes for the basic image to go on, right? I still have to manually load the engineering software each fucking piece and link it back to his account. Considering I think there was the fastest way would have been not having this shit in play and me being done in 20 minutes. Okay, but here's the thing that works when it's a single machine or a couple of machines. I don't have a single or a couple. Where do you suppose I have us for every machine at? Well, like I said, that works, but we have a lot of people that do a lot of specialized jobs. I give you a point. I give you a case in point. Dazzling. No one else in the entire company does what she does. She is, and only she uses the software she uses.
Said. I can't hear you.
Well, I've been talking this entire time. They haven't been hearing me at all. Oh, this is why I need people.
You've been muted.
I was apparently muted the entire time. Well, this is, damn it. Okay, well, I guess I'm a very long. I didn't listen to my own self because because I was. Oh. All right. Well, okay. What did we talk so far? We talked about maybe getting hard drives specialized for certain computers, but you can't do that because they're all specialized. How is it politics? If it's your life, I don't remember all the things I've said. Okay, but anyways, back to what I was talking about. There is a website that a lot of tech tips go to and gets all of his programs for your computer he wants in one website, at least a lot of them, and then downloads all of them in one go. Is there a way of like having like a software or something like that? I don't know if you can make it where you're going, okay, I know everybody needs for this people to have this software, one go, download all of it. And this department, so many things in that one go.
See where you're going, and I'll tell you that we kind of have something like that. Okay. So it's called creating your own image. Okay.
Yeah.
Said.
So what you do is you create
I thought
an
my
image
earbuds
that has
disconnected
all of the basic software that everybody gets, right?
Okay.
Because everybody gets Outlook, everybody gets Office, everybody gets Teams, everybody gets OneDrive, everybody gets that, right? And that's cool. 45 minutes, all that's on there. The problem is not every engineer is using the same version of engineering software.
That's
not
weird, but
every
okay.
accountant is using the same software for whatever their particular accounting job is.
Okay.
Not every manufacturing machine on the floor, especially on the shop floor, is using the same software for whatever they're doing production-wise that somebody else is. So you can only do that to a certain point, and then you're still going to have to manually install some stuff.
Okay. But it does take some time away.
The only way you could get around that is you would have to keep a image of every person's machine exactly the way they need it forever.
Okay.
Meaning no more when I image this machine, it's just a basic image and then I add software. It means I'm doing Grumpy's machine, let me go find Grumpy's image and let me reapply Grumpy's image to this new machine. But the thing is that's feasible when you have 10 or 15 people. When you're talking hundreds of people, that is not feasible from a storage standpoint. Because how do you manage all of those individual images? And how do you get enough space to store all those individual images and keep those images up to date? That's like a full-time fucking job in and of itself.
Yeah.
Not
I
to
would
mention
say,
it costs more money.
yeah, I would say if y'all had still, available inside y'all's facility, those really nice servers with the hard drives in it, and then you had all those hard drives have a separate image on those hard drives separated somehow for each person's computer and have like a couple terabytes, you might be able to do it, but that still costs money, still costs power, that'll still cost time, that still costs a lot of things. But y'all kind of like threw it offline, so you have to pull them through the internet to y'all's computer to do that if y'all want to do that in the servers that y'all did remotely from, right? That's what y'all do now, remotely. So that would be
Right.
could be, but again, there's too many people that have too many specialized stuff for what they do, and there's not a, I would call a streamline of this is what everybody uses. Everybody uses the same version. Everybody uses the same updated version. Everybody uses the same things. Nobody gets special because you don't want to either A, learn that, or B, you like that version because it had this functionality. You know how to get to that functionality. Because honestly, I know how that is. Programs that update and you're going, okay, now where is this at now? It got moved again. Motherfucker, I need it. I can't find it
All right,
because they got
so
rid of it or
for-
it's gone.
For us, it's not even that granular. It's literally, let's say for instance, you work in engineering, I work in engineering, right?
Yeah.
You work in DDs and I work in WDs. Well, DDs are dimensional drawings.
Yeah.
WDs are wire drawings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use AutoCAD electrical, whereas you're going to use mechanical.
Okay.
It's both AutoCAD, but it's two different versions of the software. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can you just not
So-
just like each computer just download both of them, even though they might only use one of them, just like a
No,
overall?
because to put it on there, you have to have a license, and licenses cost money.
balls. That's why I don't like renting programs. I like buying programs. That's bullshit. That whole industry of renting bullshit needs to go. I don't care who the fuck you are. That needs to die out like fucking cowboys in the Wild Wild West. Just shoot them dead. That's bullshit. I'm just saying that. I know that for a fact. That's why I don't buy any programs or anything that I have to rent at the program. The moment you say I see rent on there or monthly payments, I just go, nope. I just skip out on it. Even if I want it, I just skip out on it. But okay. So that was supposed to be all political. Where's the political side come in? Because I just feel like this is not one of those political things. I think this somebody's a son of a bitch.
Here you go. Here comes the political side.
Mhm.
No repercussions for the person that did it. Because he works for someone that sits up the chain.
I get it, but I see that as favoritism. But I get it. I see that as like you're costing the company money because you just worked on a thing for a full day and was not able to have any results because of someone's, I wouldn't say negligence, but someone inability to just trust the system to the point where they can just go, let's just do what the IT guy said. That's his job. That's his job. And if his job fucks up, that's on him. But
All right,
it's
so now I'm going to give you an even more clear-cut workplace politics scenario.
okay.
Okay. So you have a user who walks by a vice president's office, right?
Yeah.
And they walk by and they're like, damn, that vice president got some nice shiny new monitors, right?
We like monitors.
So he comes back and he sends a message, hey, how can I get a couple of those monitors? Now, this wasn't me that this message was sent to. It was sent to somebody above me. But it's still funny because of how things roll downhill. So
Yeah.
he goes, those monitors are reserved for engineers and executives. We do have a slightly smaller version of those that we would be more than happy to put in place for you. To which he replies, my request was for the ones like X person. No shit, but I'm telling you what I can do, is what this person is thinking. So, rocks on around. The person that he's messages comes to me and says, hey, I'm not giving him those fucking monitors. He's not an executive and he's not, an engineer. Now, I'll give, if he comes off of it and wants the 27s, you can give him the 27s, but I'm not giving him the 32s, right?
Okay.
Gonna stick his guns right up until he gets a message from his boss that says he's as close to an executive as you can get. Give it to
him. Sounds like favoritism. Sounds like, a little bit like, it sounds just a little bit like somebody's just wanted to give somebody something that they don't really need. They just want it. And because they're close with people, they have the opportunity, even though their job does not entitle them to said things. But it's not your money you're spending. It's your time, but it's not your money they're spending for these monitors. Well, so yeah, just give it to them.
Let me tell you, it gets better. So then this person comes to me in a huff, of course, because they're pissed off because what the fuck?
Yeah.
And says, hey, do you have time to help me do this? So now you have 2 paid professional IT people installing 2 32-inch monitors just because you want to match, because you have 32s at home. That is literally what the reasoning was. And,
must be nice.
So you just cost the company essentially 2 hours worth of money, because an hour of my time and an hour of his time.
Yeah.
Just because you wanted 32s like you have at home on your desk in your office.
And
by the way, that this particular user may be in 3 days out of the month because they're always traveling to other sites.
They're not getting very much use out of them. They're not going to get very much time about them. By the time like they leave the company, they'll probably have like less hour on those things than an average person. But I'm thinking like what would be a full year for somebody might be like 3 months for them, because they're gonna use this so little. And I'm okay. Question, because I'm thinking about like the branding here, and how much those monitors cost. All those monitors.
You knew you were going there.
Yeah,
I'm fixing to send you.
I want to know the costs of these things, because there's like there's wasteful spending and there's wasteful spending. You know what I'm saying? Like. I'm a person that have looked at quite a few monitors in my day, because while I like monitors, I have technically 4 of them. Well, one is a drawing tablet, but it's no longer a real drawing tablet because it broke. But now it just displays images on it because forget it. But I'm a streamer. I need to have multiple screens to do multiple things when I'm streaming. I got my OBS, I got my footage for the after streaming, and I got anything like pulled up my stream or have anything else that I might need, like information wise, I might be taught about, or if I'm editing a video, or if I make one more full screen for YouTube. So if I just get someone to listen to something while I'm doing some work or whatnot. It used to be for drawing, but like I said, it's broken now. So unfortunately, I can't afford to repair it. So I'm just using it as an extra little monitor. But what kind of monitor what kind of production monitor do you think you would need for a job at a company that qualifies a reason for a 31-inch or whatever monitor? LG, okay, LGs are not cheap. Let's just, that's not a bad price, but here's my problem. 1, you don't need 100 hertz. You're not gaming. 2, you don't need FreeSync. Why? Because you're not gaming. Unless you're gaming or you're doing some like graphic art design or something like that, you don't need that. Don't need it. But it is, and also curved. You don't need it. Why? Because you're not trying to play NASCAR on it. You're not playing a driving simulator. Most curve monitors are meant for like somebody to try to like be immerse themselves in the thing they're doing, like a game. You don't need a curve monitor. You need a flat monitor. You're not doing nothing special, my old friend. I guarantee it. But honestly, for that price though, that price, I've seen way worse. Way worse. I'm talking about like $200, $300 for that price. That's not a bad price. I just don't see dramatic action sync black. Okay, don't need blacks. You don't need blacks. You don't need pure blacks in your monitor. Why? You're not watching movies. You're not watching movies on this monitor. You're working. You don't need pure blacks. But it's still a pretty good price, though. Not gonna lie, that's still a good price. I'm not a big fan of LG, but that's not a bad one. But 100 hertz, you don't need that. You need like 60 at best. Sorry, you're working at a job. You don't need 60. What else are you sitting here? Because that's like you're smiling and you're like, that's not all, my whole friend. But yeah, that's not a bad price, though. That's not. I'm okay. That seemed worse, but
this is what the engineers are getting.
Okay, this is what the engineers are getting. It makes sense because they're dealing with CAD, they're dealing with graphics, they're dealing with 3D models. They're dealing with like a bunch of things that they need. But himself, don't need it. I don't think he's dealing with any of that kind of things. I almost dare to say, like, what is this guy's job description? Because unless he's doing something that would warrant this size and this features, I don't see why would you need that. That's just, I'm just gonna say this: if he ever comes to reality, or if they always, he loses his job because he got it through favoritism, not hard work, and someone has to, those monitors are no longer in use. I would take one of those, and I would use it to the fullest.
Now.
Up.
Yep.
I'm gonna need to eat something. I gotta probably order something at work.
That's.
I'm loopy.
Do what you gotta do, baby.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, girl.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do.
Dylan,
I will tell you if there is any that are able to be taken tonight when you go to leave, and it's something that I will eat.
Okay.
Feel free to do so. If not, it's fine because we're good. But I wouldn't mind, Gotta work. You just eat off of it, and I'll eat mine when you get here.
But okay, so yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, I know.
I can understand why these are engineer ones. It makes somewhat some sense. I just don't see okay. Now I get it. When you're a manager, you get some special perks, right? You get some nice things. You get some better treatment into your equipment and so on. But I don't even see a reason why a manager would need this.
There is not really a reason. So let me show you this.
Okay.
This is what he was offered, and it is also currently what I'm viewing you on.
Let's see. Okay, a reputable brand. Let's just say that reputable brand. Also pretty big. Also has the yeah. Okay. I'm eye saver. I love that. It kind of in a lot of things because eye saving is okay. If you guys buy some things and you're worried about blue and eye fatigue, get you some monitors or some devices that has eye saver mode on it. What it will do is lower the hue of blue inside the monitor and force out more yellows, light yellows, to help save your eye retention and eye damage, and also keep you from staying awake longer because blue keeps you awake more. Multiple connection with speakers. Don't really need speakers and monitors, honestly. And it's about the same price. For me personally, I would rather take this. I would rather take this. it's a more reputable brand. LG's pretty reputable, but Samsung, they're really good monitors. Samsung, good size. Also curved, not necessary, but you know, I get it. People like the curve. I like the curve too. I want the curve, but I don't have no curve
Yeah,
because
but what I'm saying the last one I put in, because I've sent you 3 links.
oh, the last one. Okay, so what was it? You sent me another one?
Last one. That's what we offered with no argument. There would have been no argument, no politics involved.
Okay.
I'm looking at you on one right now.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, yeah, it is smaller. Okay, I thought you were talking about the Samsung one. This one's smaller from Grip Tree, which I've heard of this company. I've seen monitors from Scepter, sorry, but I never personally owned one of them before, so I have no idea how.
Spectre, I'm sorry, Spectre. And I've used them a bit. They're good monitors. Like I said, I'm looking at you on one right now. Stealthy has one. This is our new it's our new basic monitor for everybody. Okay. Yeah. It's also 100 hertz.
Yeah, also 100 hertz. It is slightly smaller. Now, here's the nice thing about this one. It has a 99% sRGB, meaning this thing is pure color. The color that you get from this will be the pure color that it was originally made, meaning when someone draws an artistry of it, what artistry they saw on their work of that color is the artistry you would see on your monitor because it's 99%. Now, it's always a bit of, you know, give and take, depending on each monitor they make. There might be one where somebody has a little lighter hue in a certain section of it, but they say it's 99%, but it might be like 97, might be 96. It might be close, but not always 99. And it's machine black, which makes me think it's also in those, it's saying that when you see black on your screen, it will actually be a black in that section, but that is pretty hard to do. With a lot of modern LED lights, backlit monitors, because like, you know, they usually are backlit or they're individual pixels, so it's pretty hard to do that, honestly. But that's not a bad one at all. I never had one of them, so I couldn't speak on their longevity, on how good they last and how good the pixel density is and so on. But it's not a bad one. I wouldn't say any problem with this, but this is more reasonable. It's only $100. That is not a bad price compared to $179 for a big old thing with a bunch of features that you don't need in a monitor because you're not doing the things this monitor is capable of doing at all. The features that are in the monitor, you're never going to use. You don't ever use it, you don't need it. In my opinion. That's just wasteful. This thing's not full with like a bunch of gaming stuff all up in it. It doesn't have, you know, well, it doesn't have 100 hertz, but it doesn't have like, doesn't have the FreeSync or G-Sync. It doesn't have, eye blocking, you know, eye protection. Doesn't have all there's all those other features in it that just are not necessary.
It does work just fine for gaming because I know I game on one.
Yeah. On-screen dynamic action sync black as the stabilizer. You don't need that. What are you gonna do with that, bro? Wait, you gotta make sure your text is a little bit more crisp to read. You make sure you know the I from the L. You know the difference because you see the little tiny little small little pop. You can tell that because your screen's not that clear. You don't need it. I'm pretty sure you could do with that. Wasting motherfucker. Give that shit to me. I can use that and I can be really productive. Well, productive for a while, then I get lazy. Because I want to play with it. But okay. That's just, you know, just last week, I saw a big old 27 HP monitor at my local local thrift store. I had to buy it. It wasn't for the fact they had those special little proprietary power cord that plugged up into it. I'm like, damn, it was big. Had like no bezel, almost no bezel, except at the very, very bottom. I'm like, that'd be big old boy right up here. I would love that, but you know, it is what it is. I got all one brand. Okay, so let's just jump from that. All right, so this is something I'm pretty sure you have heard about. Have you seen who bought WB? Yeah. Okay. Paramount has bought
Paramount.
for 111 billion. I think it's a billion. I think it was a B. Dollars. Money that we will never see in our life. We'll never see that much money because people don't realize how much $1 billion is compared to $1 million is. It's a leap and bound. And now they own Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and what was the other one? Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and there was one more. DC, I know that because duh. I was like, okay, wait. Doesn't Universal own Harry Potter? Couldn't find out. They own the rights to have it in a theme park, but they don't actually own the movie rights. So
they didn't make the movies.
Yeah.
They just won the battle for purchasing the rights for putting it in a theme park.
So my question is, they owned every single pretty much big fantasy. This used to be all separated. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones. There's another one I'm skipping a bit. These really big names. Let's see, WB movies. Let's see if I can just get the idea what movies. Batman, of course. The 300. God, Jesus, they actually own a lot of movie. But I'm trying to find the main movies here. The story never the never ending story. He's owned about a lot of Batman. So yeah, okay. So the owner that has bought this has pretty much just okay. I don't mind Netflix owning some things, and I've seen what Netflix has done to Lord of the Rings. Was it Lord of the Rings, or who's the last person that made that Lord of the Rings movie or TV series? Wasn't that Netflix?
Prime.
That was Prime?
That was Amazon.
That was Amazon. Okay. I saw it with Netflix. Wasn't too happy about that, right? It wasn't the fact that they changed a few things or made a few things. It just, the story wasn't that great. I didn't find the story that entertaining. And I know Harry Potter is making this TV series. Or not Harry Potter,
Yep, but that's also not gonna. That's not Paramount that's doing that though.
Yeah, who was doing that?
Hang on, I'll find out. Unless they changed it.
Yeah, just the real question is are they, now that they got bought out, are they gonna go and, let's say, cancel a few things or stop a few things before it comes out? Because I'm not one to say an actor can't be a certain character. I'm not one to say, we can't try new things, be diverse, whatnot. Yeah, but it has to be good. But some people just we're not doing this stuff at all.
It was HBO and Warner Brothers had it, so yeah. I mean, they're not going to cancel it though.
Yeah,
that's not what they're going to do. They're not going to cancel it.
You think they're going to go?
That's probably one of the reasons they wanted to buy it. So their name would be attached to it when it came out.
Okay, so there's already been some controversy with the Harry Potter show before it even came out. We already know this, right? It's people will hate the hate before it even comes out and already shoot it down before it even airs, before they even give it a shot. And I somewhat get that, right? We all have our own irrational fears, our irrational worries. But let's say they do start bringing things back to the original state and they start doing really good again, really popular again, and start blowing up again. Will that not be part of the course, right? Or will people get, start hate on it because it's being successful again? Because certain franchise, they weren't doing that good this past couple of years. I kind of want to see happen because this guy that bought it He's like, no, none of this stuff. None of this stuff that we've been doing this for the past 4 or 5 years. He's already admitted it and openly spoke. He's like, we're not doing that shit no more. That's gone. Bye. And a lot of people are like, yay! I'm like, is it really that yay? Or are we early celebrating before we even know what's gonna happen? Like, do we need to be celebrating this? Is this a good thing that somebody's bought out such a big company and now it's almost monopolizing certain franchises because they're just going, here's everybody's separate groups. Now we're gonna all be like one. And everybody knows when you monopolize things, that's a scary thing. That's a worrying thing. You should not be wanting something to monopolize because it breeds complacency and there's no diversity in the sense of like, people having different ideas and things. And also, I don't know, if someone takes control of everything and they want to, I don't know, push their ideas onto everybody. I feel like there's gonna be could be a breeding of bad tidings here. But also, I kind of want back, I want movies like they were back in the early 2000s, early 90s. I like those movies. Some of my favorite movies are back in those times. What's your thoughts? Are you worried?
I get that. I feel like this. So, for me, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I remember a time when, if it was a Warner Brothers movie, I wanted to see it. Okay?
True.
And then, I also remember a time where that all went away because they stopped doing so great,
Yeah.
So, I'm going to look at it like this. If they do a good job, a win, okay?
Yeah.
But if they turn around and fuck some shit up, then I'm going to be like, okay, so we went from bad to worse, essentially.
Yes.
And I look at it like this. Every time a deal happens, whether it is Amazon deciding to do a Lord of the Rings show, or Netflix deciding to do a show, or whoever, there is always a 50-50 chance that it's going to suck or it's going to be great. Okay?
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't really give a shit who makes it as long as they do a good job of it.
Yeah.
Okay? So, my case in point, I am not a huge fan of Disney having Star Wars. I'm not. But there are some of the series that they did since they've gotten it that's been pretty good. And then there's been some of them that have just sucked ass. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
My case in point. Most people might not agree with me. I loved the Obi-Wan series that they did. Loved it. It was great because you finally got to see a specific battle that everybody always wondered how the fuck did he get that scar on his face, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to see how he got it. You got to see he fucked around and found out Obi-Wan wasn't about that life. Okay? First off, and then another one that I enjoyed, most people hated it. I enjoyed it, was the Ahsoka. I enjoyed that. I thought Rosario Dawson did a great job. And they're bringing season 2's coming. Finally.
Yeah.
Fucking waiting forever. You left me at the fact that they're on the planet, standing on the statue of what was considered the gods of the Force.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, we'll let you know when we get back to it. Motherfucker!
Which, side note, I just learned something this past week about the Force. Apparently the Force actually, someone started like pretty crack the code. Apparently the Force will always allow the ones that they're pretty much like whoever's losing will allow them to win. So if the evil, like the evil side is losing a lot, the Force will allow the evil side to win to balance the Force. And if anytime there's any balance of power, the Force will let the other side win. And I did not know that the Force actually plays an active role of trying to make sure they balance each other out the entire time.
That's the whole point of the Force.
Yeah, I thought whoever's just stronger was stronger. Like, you know, whoever's more dedicated to the Force wins.
It's a balance between basically good and evil, like any other thing. So, but what most people don't realize is there were a couple of considered gods of the Force. First and Force wielders. Most knowledgeable about it. Okay? Nobody knew in the current realm where that fucking came from or where, you know, where they started from. Well, if anybody has read any amount of Star Wars trivia, knowledge, or anything like that, you'd recognize that fucking statue that dipshit was standing on at the end of the first season of Ahsoka is a statue of one of them fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I mean, it's just, I'm not saying they're going purely canon with it, because they're not. They can't.
Yeah.
They just, to make it their own, they have to make some changes. And, you know, whatever. But it's nice to see that they are sneaking some of the shit in that everybody's always wondered, hey, what was that all about? You know?
Little hints.
Like, they even brought up the point where they were talking to Ahsoka at one point, and everybody was like, well, what happened to Ahsoka after Anakin turned, right?
Yeah.
Because if you watch, you don't see Ahsoka. Even before he turns, when he's dealing with Obi-Wan and stuff, right? You know, before when they start getting the idea, hey, something's off with Anakin, right? You still don't see Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Ahsoka got the feeling that there was something up with her master, and she loved Anakin, and she refused to put herself in the situation where she would have to face her master.
Yeah.
So she hauled ass, and she went into hiding. So all that shit that happened as Darth Vader and shit, Ahsoka was alive, but she's like, I ain't coming over there and fucking with it. No. Yeah. Luke, you can handle that. Like, she even visits Luke after Vader's death when he has Grogu.
Yeah.
You know, she's been around the entire time. She just not been out in the public eye. She's been doing her own thing, you know? At one time, she did try to take a couple of pupils on, which is how Ahsoka, the series, come about, because they were looking for one of them that got ganked and ran off somewhere, and they didn't know where the fuck he was. They're like, where the fuck did Ezra go?
Yeah.
You know?
So, you know, so yeah, I'm glad that like they're sneaking in stuff like that, but I'm just like, Paramount, I like Paramount movies, but they weren't the biggest draw movies for me, like, you know, Warner Brothers was. And we're talking about, like, we're not talking about just any names here. And I'm kind of confused why Warner Brothers even sold out the company. They must have some major flops at some point, but they own Pacific Rim. Like Pacific Rim. They own Fantastic Beasts. I don't think Fantastic Beasts was like a big hit, but I still liked it. They own Dune. Dune. That movie was huge. Both of them. Why would they be like, okay, King Kong versus, or Godzilla versus King Kong. We both saw that movie in the theater. We both liked that one. Why is that one like, okay? Yep. The Joker movies. The Joker movies were big hits in the theaters. I didn't particularly like the Joker movies. They weren't my thing. But they were big. Something I thought they should have brought back. They own Sherlock Holmes. I love the Sherlock Holmes movies. They are some of my favorite movies of all times. Those movies are great.
I love Sherlock Holmes.
They're just about to release the... What?
Here's the thing, though. You know how business works, right? you don't buy a company when they're tanking. You buy them when they're making money because they're proving that they can make money.
Okay.
And if you're someone wanting to get rid of the burden and responsibility and shit and everything, when your company hits a high, you're like, fuck it, I'll sell it to you how much you want. How much you gonna give me?
Okay.
So like that happens even in my company. We don't get sold to the next person when we're not
Losing
making
money. Yeah.
It's when we start making a shitload of money. They're like, hey, yeah, we can sell it to somebody else, get more money off of it than what we paid when we got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that. They own the right to Constantine, which a lot of people would love to see a second movie of that. A lot of people love to see a second movie.
Yeah, I heard they're making one.
Yeah, they need to do that soon. They own like the new Mortal Kombat movie comes out like this week or next week or something like that. It's like right around the corner. So like Mortal Kombat 2, the movie's coming out. So like they have a lot of big brands, a lot of big names. I'm just like, they were doing really good because like Warner Brothers also said this, right? That the owner of Warner Brothers, before he sold it, he said, we're not going to make movies like people nowadays. We're going to make movies that make money. That's it. That's our goal. We're not going to care about any of the other stuff nowadays. We're just going to make movies that make money. And they were doing a good job at that.
Constantine 2 Hell Returns 2026.
Oh, yeah, baby. Please. I thought that was a great movie. I don't know why they didn't make a movie. I don't know when Constantine, the first one came out. 2005? 2005, my friend. That movie's still a banger. And they're going to wait this long to release another one? Jesus H. Christ. What is wrong with movie theaters? People want something and they take this long to release it? Jesus. Or make another one? God, you're wasting money. But yet you do a bunch of remakes or remasters or Jesus Christ, you make spin-offs of the trash, but yet you have something like this that could be, I don't know what to think. So yeah, I'm wishing I can make $111 billion buying something that will make me more money too. But at the same time, I'm so worried about companies merging because monopolies are usually not a good thing. But if the owner says we're just gonna make movies for money, that's what you're pretty much be doing. You should make movies for whatever makes you the most money and not whatever will make you feel the best, right? Self-conscious, whatever. I think it could be a good thing. I just have to wait and see. Are you gonna watch a new Mortal Kombat movies in theaters? Or are you gonna wait till it comes online?
Oh no, I'm debating. I am debating because, well, oh, you talking about the Mortal Kombat 2?
Yes.
That's coming?
Yes. Literally, like within the next couple days, it's coming out, or week or so. It's like they're already like the trailers out on YouTube and so on, and I've already seen them several times. So I don't know how big of a hype there is behind it. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one they make. But this one could be the banger. This one could be like the awesome one. There was some pretty high moments in the other one too. Like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It's like the original Mortal Kombat. At least the first original Kombat. It's the spin-off Mortal Kombats from the originals weren't that good either. But they weren't bad. But boy, they had some cringe moments. They were some so bad they were good. There's a lot of brands behind Warner Brothers that a lot of us has come to know from Warner Brothers, and now Paramount owns it. So I'm kind of, I can't say skeptical. I'm just worried. I hate to say that. Let's like movies they own, Paramount. Let's see some movies I know a lot of. Ghost in the Shell wasn't the greatest, wasn't bad, but it was, it wasn't like oh my God, it's the best thing of all times. Let's see, Warner Brothers owned Sonic. Sonic was pretty good. I like Sonic. I actually watch all the Sonic movies in theaters. My wife doesn't particularly like it. I liked it. Let's see, what are some other, God. Oh, they own Sweeney Todd. My wife loves Sweeney Todd. That movie was definitely one of my wife's favorite movies. But I'm trying to see like what movies did I like from Paramount? Like for some reason, I think my brain's like thinking that Paramount owns Deadpool, but I don't see Deadpool anywhere. So Ninja Turtles, they don't. Okay, they own Ninja Turtles. They own Scream. Okay. I said they own the Avatar movie, but Jesus Christ, that movie. I love the Avatar. Not the Avatar, the blue people. The Avatar, the Last Airbender. That one. That movie that flopped immensely because they try to rush it so quickly, and it was kind of like breaking the lore.
So
And
Paramount owns Mission Impossible, Transformers, Star Trek, Top Gun, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sonic the Hedgehog, Scream, Paranormal Activity, Jackass. I mean,
they own Star Trek. Okay, so that was probably the other one that I was trying to think of. That was like the major brand because like Star Trek, even though people might not think it or might say it, Star Trek is a major brand. That is a very big brand to own or title to own the rights to, and now they just add that with all the rest of the like big names. Like it's Jackass. I don't know the last time they made a Jackass movie. What the Jackass movie like a couple of years back? I don't know. Braveheart. Like, there's some classic movies from Paramount that I like.
Indiana Jones.
That classic.
They own Indiana Jones. They own Beverly Hills Cop. They own Godfather. They own Rugrats. They own Friday the 13th.
Yeah, some classics, but yeah, they own some. There are some big names, but it's not many. I can't say modern brands that I'm going across right now that are like, oh yeah, that is Sonic for me.
I mean, you got Transformers. You got Mission Impossible. They're still making those. You got Top Guns. They just made Top Gun. Top Gun.
How to Train a Dragon. That was apparently a big name. And of course, what is this name of this movie? Kung Fu Panda. That's also a Paramount movie, apparently. I didn't know that they own that one. So yeah, there's some for a few that are big brands, but just like there's nothing that I would say for me that was like, oh yeah, that for lately were just God smack just bangers for me. Except for Sonic. I liked Sonic. I didn't hate it. I actually liked Sonic. But okay, so
I was on the fence because I didn't feel like it. They took it too much like it wasn't based. Okay, they based it more further into the Sonic storyline.
Yeah. Then the start of Sonic.
If they just started with like Sonic, the first story, there'd have been no humans.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. I wanted Sonic, not Sonic travels to Earth.
They also own Watchmen, which, God, that movie was so good. 2009 since that one came out. Jesus, that's a bring back right there. They own Tomb Raider, the movies. They could bring back another hot woman that plays Tomb Raider. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right now, Tomb Raider's getting beat up because they keep pulling actresses to do Tomb Raider, and it's nothing against the actresses and necessarily in the way they act. It's more along the lines they don't exude Laura Croft.
Yeah, like the original. That
Right.
woman was
So-
Laura Croft.
You know, it's just, and I get it. They're trying to make her less sexualized, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not that the girls that they're picking aren't playing the Laura Croft character, but people want to see Laura Croft too, not just hear Laura Croft. And frankly, I don't care. I watched the live action that they did with the girl previous to this one.
Yeah.
It was fine. I enjoyed it. It was a Tomb Raider movie. She was doing what Lara Croft does, okay?
Mhm.
She didn't have fucking 22-inch rims hanging on her chest, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever, okay? then they got this. And then they got this other girl that they're about to cast, and everybody is fucking going ape shit because they're like, she's not Lara Croft, but they're doing that purely out of the fact that she doesn't look exactly like Lara Croft. Again, if she plays the part and she makes me think Lara Croft, whether I see, tatas the size of the moon or not, it's a different story.
Yeah.
If she makes me feel like, okay, this is Laura and this is the shit she would go through, whatever.
It doesn't help that they had Angelina Jolie play more.
But I will say they kind of set the bar high when they made the first two Tomb Raider movies, because they literally went and found a woman that, one, she can act, and two, physically, when you looked at her,
You saw her.
she looked like Laura.
Yeah,
She
you
looked
saw her.
like Laura.
Mm-hmm.
So you set a bar here, and now you're trying to go back and make more money off this franchise, but that person you sit the bar with can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you're picking people that have acting chops, but they don't fit, visually. And while there's people like me that are like, fine, what the fuck ever. I mean, she don't have to have tatas the size of a car. She's still doing a good job being Lara Croft. I'm gonna watch it. You got the other people out there that grew up playing. Yes, you could be a Lara Croft.
Yes, you could.
Yep. Ooh, even Grumpy agreed with me. You could be Laura. And she said fuck both of us, by the way. Anyway, she said she was joking, but we weren't.
Like Lara Croft,
Anyway.
she's 5'9". She's a tall woman. And I believe her cannons were a low D. So they weren't the hugest, or they were high Bs. They don't really know, but yeah, she wasn't the biggest.
Were not Bs. There was no B about her.
But they were pretty nice size. But like when I saw her, she played like that serious woman. That was like in an explorative. She was wild. She was free, but she had she had that aura that she was Lara Croft.
That edge that Laura had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that the other girls aren't pulling that off. It's purely they're catching shit because they don't look as much like Laura as Angelina did. That's all it is. That's what it boils down to. And fine, I get it. Some people watch movies because they want to see their character. Okay, they want to see hot.
Yeah.
That's not gonna stop me from watching the next Lara Croft movie. I'm a Tomb Raider fan, bitch. If you look at my my Steam right now, hang on, where my Steam at? Steam. Come here, you. Get over here. My library. I have Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, Last Revelation, Chronicles, Angel of Darkness, Anniversary, Legend, Underworld. I have all of those in my fucking Steam. You want me to tell you something that's common about all of them?
Mm-hmm.
The puzzles will make you cuss at the screen.
Yeah, or in the other people's situation, traversing the game will always put your character in a very awkward position where you get a little bit of a close-up view of the character's assets. Every single game, they do it on purpose. It's definitely done on purpose.
As Stealthy just said, that fan service, that
Yeah,
fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it was OnlyFans before OnlyFans,
Yeah.
But,
36 C's, by the way.
I like, huh?
36 C's, by the way.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't B's, they were C's.
Yeah, just one step higher.
But the point is that at some point you have to realize for every character drawn or put in a video game, there is not going to be a 1-to-1 match in real
No.
life.
Wait.
I
There
mean-
is one situation. Call of Duties have rendered the voice actors into their games, and they actually look and voice the characters. But for some reason, the new Call of live action movie they're going to be doing are not going to use those voice actors and actors from the video games. Makes zero fucking sense. You literally use them in your games, and they're the voice actors too, but yet you won't use them to play your live action movies. Good job. Let's put it out there.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do? I mean,
But yeah, like if you make a character, it's fictional. Like it's not supposed to be real. They're not real people. So getting real
let's do
people
like
to be
this.
the real people.
Let's flip this to another gender. Okay, a male. We're gonna take a male actor this time to do this. All right. So before John Wick come out, none of us had ever seen Keanu Reeves as John Wick.
No.
Right? None of us.
Was there a John
Okay.
Wick movie books? I actually don't know. Sorry.
None of us had ever seen John Wick as Keanu Reeves. Now that you have seen the John Wicks, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 6-7 years from now, they're going to go back and do a remastered version of John Wick. Granted, Keanu's going to be too old to do it, right?
Yes.
So they're going to go pick some other freakishly tall Caucasian dude to do this shit, but they're going to be the same problem. Even if he can pull off the acting, the voice, the movement, everything, he doesn't look like the John Wick that we
No.
seen to
Yeah.
begin with. It's always gonna catch shit. It's kind of like Constantine. Could you imagine him trying to make this second Constantine without Keanu Reeves?
I could see it though, and it would piss off so many people.
It would make so many people mad. But see, you seen the picture of what I sent you?
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what that makes me feel? I sent you a link.
Oh yeah.
Scroll down.
I see it.
You know what I see? I see
John Wick.
John Wick 5. I'm here to fuck your shit up. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, all things aside, I haven't seen a movie that Keanu Reeves done that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I really haven't. Even the one where he played the fucking sadistic serial killer, I was fucking rooting for him. Okay? There is something about the man. You're just like, God, he does this so well. Just keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. And we were, to case in point, we were all sitting around a table talking about, and Stealthy knows, we were talking about this at one point too. We've lost so many great actors and actresses over the past 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
That the topic come up at the table at work, you know, what actors are going to hurt you the worst in the future, right? Bro, do you know how many people are probably going to take the day off of work if Keanu ever kicks the bucket? Like,
I almost did
motherfucker,
it from Robert Williams. No lie. Almost did it for
I
him.
mean, just take it off. Like, fuck this shit. I'm done.
And you see, the thing is that makes it like even more
Yeah.
worse
All
is
the people freaked out when they thought Jim Carrey was dead. Remember?
yeah.
And Jim was
Literally,
like,
like, a
I'm
couple weeks
alive,
back.
motherfucker.
Yeah, a couple weeks back. We can talk about that in a couple seconds. But like literally, like the fact that like that makes it worse is all these movie actors have these movies that they're kind of like well known for, and people are like, "Hey, I want to see the next movie or the end to the story or the conclusion of this movie franchise with that actor." And problem is they take so long to release or start making those movies that a lot of those actors will never see the day to be able to finish that franchise because they're dead.
Well, here's the problem. It's not just the movie companies that's part of that problem. The other part of that is people like Keanu Reeves, Angelina Jolie, certain one of them's, they have more than one movie that they're contracted for at the time. So when they leave this movie, they're going straight into another one. Even if they wanted to say, hey, we finished the first one, let's go ahead and shoot the second one, they can't. The fucking actor's already obligated to another movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the time they're out of that, they've got another obligation. So that's why some companies have went to signing multiple movie contracts,
Hmm.
because that way we got you fucking locked down.
Yeah. We're gonna knock all these out. But yeah, the guy that apparently at the French rewards was actually a guy who was using a prosthetic mask and was doing pretty good job at Jim Carrey's voice, but something was off. He came out and just said, "Yeah, that was prosthetic. That was me. That was not Jim Carrey. I was Jim Carrey. I went there looking like him, and it was a stunt. Apparently, the entire time. And everybody's like, wait, Jim Carrey dead? Wait, this guy's definitely not Jim Carrey. This guy's eyes are different. His face looks weird. Like it looks somewhat like Jim Carrey, but his voice doesn't sound right." And it's like, no, Jim Carrey's fine. He's alive. But boy, that freaked out a lot of people. It's like, wait, did they kill him? Because there's a lot of conspiracy, a lot of movie actors that were, that died out of nowhere for no reasons. And we're thinking, oh shit, Jim Carrey must have said something again that he wasn't supposed to say, and they got him.
Well, if you want to get into the conspiracy of dead actors, there's only one that I ever subscribed to that I thought might have actually been legit. Somebody fucking killed him,
Yeah.
and that was Brandon Lee.
Okay.
Because, like, think about this: how many movies do we make every year that have guns in it, right?
Yeah.
How many movies have you heard of an actor getting killed by gunfire because someone put a live round in it in all the years you've been watching movies?
It just pretty much never happens unless there's like something in the barrel, like a dust particle. That happens sometimes, like where the
No.
Dud
I'm
bullet
talking
shoots
about
off.
there was a live round in the gun. You ain't
Um,
never heard of that, right?
okay, wait. There is one incident where I forget the guy the actor was making this movie. This happened a couple years back, where one of the stunt girls gave the actor a gun and didn't realize she put a live bullet in it, and both of her and the actor that was making the movie both went to jail for it because it actually did kill somebody on set. But that's the only other time I can think of. Like this happened like maybe 2 or 3 years
so
back.
out of all the years, it's only happened one time, but they were able to literally say, hey, this girl did this by accident. This happened, right?
Yeah.
They figured that out. They still haven't figured out how a live round got into one of the bullets and shot Brandon Lee on set while filming.
Yeah, guy was great in The Crow.
Yeah, that was the movie he died in.
Mm-hmm.
You know the scene where he jumps up on the table and they're all shooting at him?
Yeah.
That he died when he fell off of that table. That was
He was
it.
dead.
He was dead.
Yep.
He was dead. And I'm like, why y'all gotta kill him? Because I love, dude. Brandon Lee was the Crow. No Crow since then has been nothing like him.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, holy shit.
Like wasn't one of the wrestlers, I'm forgetting his name. Wasn't this like one of the wrestlers was like literally modeled off of this guy?
Well, Sting changed his look from the multicolored flat top to look like the Crow essentially later in his career, yes.
Yeah. So like it was like this guy was like, it's like the Joker. He was known for that role, and he's been ever since been known for that role. For me, like the Robert Williams was always been a bit of a question for me, but like he did have a bit of signs of suicidal thoughts, and there was signs that he was starting to have Parker syndrome, I think it was, some mental issues over the years that people have been saying like, yeah, he was starting to degrade, and he was not liking that. I'm trying to think, like there's several other movie actors that have disappeared, and some doctors have come out and gone, hey, this isn't natural. This is not normal. Somebody took them out when I checked them over. They would never do this to themselves. And it was literally like just last week too, where
the wrestler you're talking about.
Yeah, Sting. And it was literally last week. There was a music artist that actually found out this past week or so that actually found out that he was shown he was supposedly committed suicide. That actually found out that he did commit suicide. And it was actually like all staged. And it was actually might have been his girlfriend. I don't remember the name of the musician. I would say I can look it up real quick, but it'd probably take me far longer to look it up than I would be willing to put in time to do. But yeah, it was like last week or so that or maybe a few days ago that I heard about that they a music artist that was thought dead back in the 90s actually might have not have killed himself at all, and it might have actually been his girlfriend the entire time.
I mean, the only one I could think of was Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Let me see. How you spell that? Well,
K-U-R-T is Kurt, and C-O-B, I can't even remember how to spell the rest of it.
was it Kurt Cobain? I gotta say, a lot of people back in the 90s kind of look the same. At least a lot of music artists made it. Blonde hair, long, and kind of look like they might have been on drugs. I want to find a video where it was, but yeah, probably with he was a 90s musician. I would say I recognize him if I heard the song, but right now I can't think of it. So yeah, it's when Robert Williams, that guy came out with that mask on, it definitely made you turn some heads going, are people being replaced? And if people were replaced in movies and they start using masks like that and they're able to do the voice someone like that, it's gonna throw a lot of people off too. So like you can't just replace them with like somebody like that. And even if you do CGI, it still might be a little off-putting because like it doesn't really fully match what the character, the actor might look like. Like literally a couple of days ago or yesterday, I saw somebody like AI, which we're gonna talk about AI in a second. AI, somebody that was voice acting as was it George W. Bush? I think it might have been George W. Bush in a little skit online, and they used AI because the CGI was not good enough to apparently CGI the face onto the person to make it look realistic. Somehow AI was better at doing it, and I'm going, please God, let's that be true. So let's jump into that real quick, and then we'll call it there. So this past week, there was something that kind of good that kind of happened, and again, we don't be talking about politics up here, but I think this is something we can kind of talk about, and with that being that kind of things. So apparently people were copywriting AI artwork, and let's just say that is now no longer a thing. You can no longer copyright AI artwork. That is completely gone. And I, for one, think that's a good thing. You shouldn't be taking a bunch of artwork, shoving it together, and going, yep, that's mine. I own that. That's me, baby. That's God. So I don't know why people thought that would be a good idea to like, let's copyright this obvious theft to a lot of people's minds. Obvious, no work, just really good at making prompts and thinking they can make a profit off it and own the right to it forevermore. And on top of that, in Japan, there was apparently a manga artist that was put in a contest to see what's the next big manga. And there was this one that was really popular. But then the artist fucked up and said, yeah, I use AI to help me with my artwork. And he lost. He got the reward took from him. Because he openly admitted he uses AI to make his artwork for his manga. Stupid people. I swear. Why would you, one, admit there's something that everybody already has somewhat of disdain for a thing that is meant for like showing off your artwork and your artistry, and then go, yeah, I used it to draw my things and make my manga, even if the story was really good. Apparently the story was really good. He admitted that he used the AI artwork to make his manga, and they just went, oh, you do? Well, I guess Warrior just, nope, that's mine. Bye. Sorry, you lose. It's like, I'm sorry. People think AI is just like, I get it, right? If you're trying to, like, you already have the idea, you need some work on it, you need a touch and go. You need to improve on it. Okay, but don't try to claim it as copyright it. Right? You didn't put all the work into it. You cheated. You took a step ahead. I'm not gonna copyright anything that I've done. But at the same time, you also don't take that AI artwork and go and put it in the contest and going, do I win? I'm sorry, you didn't. You didn't make it.
It dropped again.
What dropped?
He was saying that they done away with the ability for people to copyright AI artwork. So you know how people were going out there and grabbing a bunch of images, smashing them together with AI and saying, okay, I'm copyrighting that. That's mine? Yeah, they can't do that anymore. And he was saying he for one thinks that's a great thing because yeah. So that's what it's our last talking point. We were talking about, yeah. Okay, so say Grumpy drew something, you drew something, I drew something. Somebody goes on the internet, finds all three of those things, they mash the fucking things together, and then they're gonna copyright our work as their one collected work? That's bullshit. You know? Yeah, babe.
And then try to submit that kind of work into a contest and going, do I win? Can I make money off of this now?
Go ahead. You're off speaker. What's up?
All right. Well, I'm going to say this is probably going to be it. I don't know what they're talking about, but yeah, I thank you for coming here tonight. I do appreciate it. If y'all want to come in next week, it's usually around the same time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. You know, it's right here on this channel where me and Corbo we talk about the next thing that will bother us or on our mind. But I do appreciate it. If you're watching the VODs, be sure to like button, subscribe, of course. Leave a comment, please. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions about something, or maybe a topic piece that you want us to talk about next week. Depends on what it is. If it's a hot button, you know, anything political, religious, or like that, please forego that. We don't talk about that kind of stuff on this podcast. And as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. I'm going to say bye.
His jokes are sometimes crude and sometimes ass. With his wife of 15 years, there's always having his back. Even when his dogs and cats are being a pain in the ass, he hopes this will always last. Even bring the fun to the masses, rolling, dueling, beating every dungeon classes. With his goofy faces and voice all over the places, he hopes to never give up on his dreams, to bring joy and even the facts with his last podcast every week, and stream with his friends to bring that energy like Big Booty Club.